Today, the DRC is in a state of crisis. Despite the country's mineral wealth, the DRC is victim to war, political tension, and extremism. But this is not how it was supposed to be. Patrice Lumumba was a prime example of African independence, African progression, and most importantly, African unity. After freeing Congo from Belgian grip, he went on to become the first leader of an independent Congo. Before ascending to Congo's prime ministerial position, Lumumba was heavily involved in grassroots groups. He was a regional president of a Congolese trade union, and this trade union was free of Belgian influence. In 1957, following a trip to Belgium, Lumumba was imprisoned in Congo by the colonialists, and this further heightened his opposition towards the Belgians and their control over Congolese mineral wealth. In 1958, he was invited by Ghanaian leader Kwame Nkrumah to attend the Revolutionary All-African People's Conference, which was based on anti-colonial sentiments and progressing towards African unity. Finally, in 1960, Lumumba's Congolese national movement won Congo's first ever democratic election, and he made history by becoming the first Congolese-born, democratically elected political leader of the country. The Belgians have committed an unfathomable amount of atrocities against the Congolese, atrocities that shape the Democratic Republic of Congo today. The assassination of Patrice Lumumba is one of the most significant events in contemporary African history. Here are the main 5 reasons why Belgium and the US collaborated to murder one of Africa's finest leaders. The British King of Belgium, King Leopold, came across Congo when he found out about a British explorer's travels up the Congo River. He decided that he would lay claim to Congo, and this was rubber-stamped at the 1884 Berlin Conference, also known as the Scramble for Africa. He was supposed to take hold of Congo Free State and improve the livelihood of Congolese natives. But as we know, this is the exact opposite of what happened. Leopold was a tyrant, and it's estimated that his rule over Congo Free State caused the death of approximately 10 to 15 million people. And this uncivilized manner of ruling a nation was what enabled him to exploit Congo's mineral wealth and use his gains for the construction of buildings in Belgium and his own personal gain. Now, Lumumba, like other Pan-African leaders, saw a Congo free of colonial rule and was a nationalist. Belgium and the US had held the fate of Congo in their hands for over 100 years while benefiting financially, and Lumumba's presence threatened the status quo. Lumumba's election to the prime ministerial seat was a symbol of nationalism and anti-colonial sentiment amongst the people of Congo, which could ignite an outright revolt. In an attempt to control this, the Belgians collaborated with the CIA, white mercenaries, and international mining corporations. Congo is thought to be the richest country in the world, with a variety of untapped mineral resources. The US, UK, and Belgium had high stakes in Congo's natural resources, and Lumumba rightly believed that it should be used to improve the lives of the people in the country. However, this opinion is not shared with corporations and former colonial powers. Today, Congo's vast minerals are used for a variety of technologies, and this is no different to the 60s. Natural resources were heavily concentrated in the Katanga and South Kasai, which is where international mining companies sources material for profit. If the Congolese were able to seize full control of their resources, then external companies would have to pay more to gain access, because ideally, the money they would pay would be used to benefit the lives of Congolese people, thereby reducing their profit margins. And so, the Belgians engineered the secession of Katanga, during which was known as the Congo Crisis. During the Congo Crisis, Lumumba and the central government were at odds with the secessionists. He called on the United Nations for help, but because they were pro-Western, they offered no help. As a result of this, Lumumba called on the Soviets for assistance, to which they agreed. Now, the Congo Crisis was during the Cold War, during which the US and the Soviets were at odds. Lumumba now posed an even bigger threat because he was backed by the Soviets, and they believed this would enable the Soviets to obtain access to natural resources in Congo. In addition, the US were convinced that all nations that interacted with the Soviets could possibly become a communist state. During the Cold War, US foreign policy knew no bounds. Everyone was a potential threat at the height of a nuclear scare, and this was another reason behind the plot to kill Lumumba. Now, in order to ensure that Congo remained pro-Western, Lumumba would have to be removed, and the West would have to groom and install someone that would sympathize with their cause. I think the saddest thing for me regarding Lumumba's assassination is that he was captured, ridiculed, and killed by his fellow Congolese people. Can we say that they were none the wiser, or did they stand to gain something as a result of his death? An article in the Telegraph references the idea that Lumumba's assassination is Congo's original sin, as his killers were bought by the US and Belgium. When Lumumba was removed from office, he was replaced by Joseph Mobutu, also known as Mobutu Sese Seko. This would be the man who would imprison Lumumba following Belgian and CIA's orders. He is a very interesting character, and the way he maneuvered as Congo's leader made it so that he straddled the fence between communism and capitalism. So if you would like a video about Mobutu Sese Seko, please let me know in the comment section. I'd be more than happy to research it and give you guys my thoughts. This is really my own opinion, unlike the other points which is based on my research. This is a personal observation. I really do feel like the Belgians, especially the Belgian king, Baudouin, I think that's how you pronounce it, they were not expecting Lumumba to successfully form a government. Also, on the day of Congo's independence, Lumumba gave a speech that really spoke about the pain Africans had gone through due to white colonialists. I mean, Baudouin had just given this elaborate speech about how the Belgians will always be there for the Congolese, and we saved you from the Arabic slave trade and you can come to us at any time. Just a total disregard of the history of their country's crimes in Congo. I mean, the delusion. So it was a surprise to hear Lumumba's speech. I mean, how many African leaders had really spoken in this manner to Westerners at the time? This was a time in history when African countries were first becoming independent and the West were losing their power one nation at a time. But they had a lot more to lose in Congo. Gold, uranium, which they use for nuclear weapons, coltan, which is used for mobile phones today, diamonds, oil. Were they just going to let it go? Were they going to let Lumumba take charge and hope that things would remain the same? Absolutely not. So that's my personal opinion. I think they thought, how audacious of this man. So if you're still with me, please comment down below. We have reached the end of this video, and these are, in my opinion, the main 5 reasons why Lumumba was assassinated by the CIA and the Belgians. This has been Afropolitical TV, and I will see you next week. Don't forget to subscribe if you like content like this. I post videos every Wednesday and Saturday. See you in the next video.